not this past weekend, the previous Saturday. Luke Rockhold returned. He looked phenomenal against Dave Branch. Bit of a maybe slow start, you could say, but ended very strong. He's back in the mix, reasserting himself as one of the best middleweights. You can still make the case that he is the best middleweight in the world, and he is kind enough to join us on the Skype machine. Mr. Luke Rockhold, hello there. How are you? Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Where are you today, Mr. Rockhold?
I'm back home. My mom just got married this weekend in Santa Cruz, so I've come back for a minute, and we'll see what's next.
Mazel tov to your mother.
Thank you.
Were you the best man? Were you the ring bearer? What was your role in the wedding?
Me and my brother walked her down the aisle. And
that's very nice.
It was a small wedding. It was nice.
Okay. So you're back. You won. Back in the mix. Would you agree with the assessment that Branch won the first round, that maybe you needed some time to feel him out? Maybe he came out a little more aggressive than you thought, and then, of course, you figured things out in the second. But would you agree with someone who said, including myself, that you lost the first round, that he actually did better than most expected?
I'd say that I gave him the first round.
Okay. Oh, you gave it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Branch, he had a lot of nervous energy. I think he did what he fought the only chance he had was to come forward and swing for the fences. You could tell there was a lot of nervous energy, and I was just like, I was overwhelmed by how hard he was committing. He left himself open. I didn't exactly, think that was his game plan, but he listened to his coaches. They could hear him. Every time his coaches would speak up, he would, engage and just click into gear. Branch he's a tough guy, but he's a bit of a puppet. I think he listens. He needs, like I said before, he really needs a motivational speech, and his coaches they work with him well, I guess you could say.
So you could tell that he's kind of listening to every word that they say and is reacting based on their instructions. You can feel that from him?
I could feel it, yeah. I could hear it. I could feel it.
Wow.
He was just, I could feel his energy kind of, slow down at the end of the first round. You can't keep that pace up for 5 rounds. I don't care who you are.
Right.
That's just not. That you leave openings, you leave holes, and you don't. The calculated, the best people in the world, they don't fight like that. And I obviously overcommitted my last fight, and I was very set in the mindset of being patient in this fight and waiting for the openings and being precise. So that was my game plan. He, tried to obviously run with it.
Did he rock you towards the end of the first round? Like, were you seriously hurt?
No, he didn't rock me at all.
He didn't.
He hit me, and if you could actually see, he hit me. I overshot my right hook, and then he rolled with it and hit me to the right. I actually posture up after about a couple of shots, and you can see me posture up, drop my hands, and then he hit me a couple more times, and I was like, all right, come here, hold him in, and then obviously I waved off my coaches. Everyone was a little hyped up, but I felt fine. I was very aware of the whole thing.
Yes, that was a great scene, a great tweet by you afterwards saying, yeah, everything's under control. I got this. In your mind on the stool going into the second round, did you know that you could finish him there? Like, were you like, okay, this has been fun, but it's time to get out of here?
I could feel him break a bit. I could feel his energy kind of get tucked out, at the end of the first round. It was definitely, I settled in. I get better as the fight goes on. And he was rushing so much. If he wanted to play the distance game, I was happy with that. I was content there. I think I would have picked him apart easily. But he was just rushing in, and he'd always rush to the clinch. And once we started clinching, I realized how weak he was. And so he kept that pace and that pressure, and he just kept rushing into the clinch, and I couldn't help but just take advantage of it, really. At that point, I told him, if he hits the ground, I'm going to make you look like a white belt. And I believe I did.
Did you notice that he tapped due to strikes, or did you think it was just a TKO?
No, I noticed. I was aware. He was covering up. I was trying to find room to legal shots, where I could put him away. And he took a lot of punishment. And, not many people are going to survive underneath me. I seen his hand come up, and I think he took all he could take.
there was a debate that it comes up every time something like this happens. For some reason, there's like a stigma attached to tapping due to strikes as opposed to just tapping due to a submission. How do you feel by that? Like people have used as an insult. Like I remember BJ Penn insulting, or at least in his mind insulting George St-Pierre that he tapped due to strikes against Matt Serra. Do you think that is a sort of a cop-out, a cowardly move? Do you think less of an opponent if you see that he taps due to strikes as opposed to tapping due to a submission?
I don't know. I'm not one to judge too much. It depends on how much you talk. You know, I mean, if you run your mouth and you say this, you say that, and then you go out and tap. You know, that's kind of why I looked at him. I was like, did you just tap? You know, after, you know, he tried to beat me down pretty hard on the build up, and then to tap out in that fashion was, I just wanted to let him know. You know.
In a way, go ahead. Please
go on.
No. You're good. In a way, was this the perfect opponent for you? Like, did you feel this was the perfect way to ease back into things because you had been away for, you know, a month, or I should say a year and what, like 3 months?
I think it was the perfect timing. I mean, timing was everything. I got to put myself in position in case something happens, and I couldn't wait any longer. I was waiting since June, July, August. No one would sign a contract. No one would step up. And I knew that obviously there are title fights coming and there's opportunities ahead. And if something were to happen, I want to put my name in the mix and make sure I'm ready. And so I got a fight. I got a top 10 opponent. I put him away, and like nobody else had. He hadn't lost in 5 years. I mean, before that was a decision with Anthony Johnson. So I put this guy away in the second round. I'm thinking, you know, my thing is I go out there and I try to beat people like nobody else had.
Did you feel rusty at all?
I just wanted to be patient. I mean, that's my thing. Patience is everything. Patience, you know, leads to being precise. You know, you find people's timing, and that's how I fight my best. This guy just ran forward like an idiot. You can't do that. You leave openings, you leave holes, and it's not a smart way to fight. But like I said, maybe this was his only chance, and so obviously he did it. So I felt fine, really. I just like to naturally, you know, get that timing before I really engage and start putting it on.
You had to spend a couple extra days in Pittsburgh, right? Because you had to beat the Hurricane. That wasn't the original plan, correct?
No, Hurricane Irma was a real threat at that point. So
yeah,
we were not going to hang around to see. I'm a Californian. I'm not trying to experience my first hurricane, let alone the most powerful one in history, which they had built it up to be. So we jumped out as soon as when it was necessary.
Not just any kind of
Friday.
Yeah, but if correct me if I'm wrong, we went private plane to Pittsburgh, right? PJ,
come on.
Wow, I didn't know you rolled like that.
We find opportunities. It wasn't too bad. You know, you got to be more well connected these days. It's not that bad. I'm doing pretty well for myself.
So afterwards, I thought, you know, obviously you got the win, you reassert yourself. Again, I think that you can make a case for you still being the best middleweight in the world. But I have a bone to pick with the post-fight interview. And it's not what you think. I had no problem with the intensity. I love the fact that you took things, under control, and it was like your message. You didn't really want to answer questions. You wanted to, say what you wanted to say. But I had a problem with targeting GSP as opposed to Bisping. I felt like Bisping should have been the one that you should have been targeting, that he's running for you, whatever the case may be. But GSP is just the guy, the opportunist taking advantage of a situation. You were trying to get him to pull out of the fight, saying like, there's still time, you're getting involved in something that you should not be getting involved with. Why not target Bisping? You never even said Bisping's name in that whole little spiel.
He doesn't deserve it. GSP. So GSP he's overstepping his boundaries. He's jumping into a world that he's not ready for. I mean, even if he were to win this fight, he's not prepared to fight any of us. That's not gonna happen. This doesn't make any sense, and it's annoying. This is what we all work for, is to get to that title, and to have that thing held hostage is frustrating. What the direction of the company's going, just feeding the people this bullshit. It's I fight
to get the title. I fight to be the best, and so there's two of them out there, and I'm trying to hunt one down. So obviously Bisping is my first priority, and if not, Whittaker's there.
So GSP said on this show just a few weeks back that it's in his contract, and he signed off on this, that if he wins the fight, he has to defend the belt against Robert Whittaker. You don't believe that he's actually going to do that if he wins?
No, and I don't believe Bisping will either. I mean, he's ran this far. He's finally going to come up and get a payday.
I mean, either way, I don't think either one fights any of us.
Bisping said last week on the show that there's a good chance he retires after the fight. So you think he does that before fighting one of you guys?
Of course.
Did you hear those comments? What do you make of that?
You know, it is what it is. I've spoke my mind on it many a times. He's not
going to fight any of us. He's been running from the start. He's scared. He really is. You know what's funny is on the build-up to this fight, Henry Hooft had noticed Bisping stalking his Instagram stories and checking up on us, and then made me kind of aware of it. And I checked, and of course, yeah, the guy's, he's not thinking about us. He's been all over our social. He's nervous. He's scared. He knows, his time is limited. He's gonna have to run. Like I said, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna put myself on that stage, on that doorstep. You're gonna have to make a choice.
Bisping was on the show last week. As I said, I asked him about your performance. Just want to play a quick clip and have you respond to it. Here's Michael Bisping talking about your win last week.
He got a stoppage in the second round. I thought he looked very sloppy, if I'm honest. He has a problem with people that can box, people that get inside. He landed some good shots, the other guy, David Branch. And if he had a bit more pop, he could have taken Luke out of there. So, yes, this congratulations, job well done. He got the finish in the second round. But, he needs to be careful because, there's a lot that could have been improved upon. Let's say that. But as I say, well done. Good performance.
So somewhat critical, said that you were sloppy, a lot to be improved on. Some advice from the champion. Your reaction?
He can think what he wants to think. When a guy rushes forward and runs forward like that, there's not as calculated as it should be. I did what I had to do. I found my timing. I landed my shots. If he wants to think that I'm vulnerable in that realm or any of those realms, please, sign the contract. I'll be ready to go. As a matter of fact, if Bisping were to sign a fight with me, I would promise you in the world, I would bet on it that I will not shoot for one takedown. This would be purely a stand-up fight. I'd give him every opportunity to get back in there and implement his boxing, get in the inside, try all you will. I fucking guarantee you, I will finish you on the feet. With all the holes in my game, I will pick you apart.
Would it feel like a hole almost in your soul if you never get another crack at him, that you don't get to right that wrong?
No, I've been outspoken. I'm ready to just
get back to the top. Like I said, he's been running from the start, and he can run to the finish. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna reestablish myself. The best men don't always win. That's the sport. There's too many variables in this sport. This is not boxing. We don't have a 10-second count. It's just things happen, and I fucked up, but I'll go reclaim my position and put myself on top.
So what is the plan now in your mind? Are you just going to prepare for November 4th as if you're fighting and hoping that something happens there? Have they opened the lines of communication about maybe a fight on that card where you're fighting, a Romero or someone like that? What is going on right now, or at least what is your plan and hope?
My plan is to get healthy.
Obviously, first of all, I've got French checked me one time, and I might have a little fracture in my foot from another kick I threw. But so I'm waiting on that, trying to stay off my feet and let that decompress. So we'll see what the time frame is on that. Otherwise, yeah, I'm gonna try to stay sharp, stay healthy, and be ready just in case something happens. And I'll be ready to step in on any notice for that fight if that's the case. see what the case is with Whittaker too. You know, the timeline is, you just don't know what these guys are doing right now.
Yeah.
And then the fact that, probably, either one of those guys won't fight any of us after November. So everything's up in the air. So I'm just going to try to stay healthy. And I have some obligations in the meantime, some things that keep me busy. So
like what? Like what? What do you got?
We'll see. I got some paychecks to collect.
Oh, modeling? We doing the modeling thing?
There might be a couple things. I don't know. I'm just
taking paychecks, buddy.
Yeah.
I gotta sell my house. I got a property I'm selling. I got a lot of different things I'm kind of in between on right now. So I'm just catching up with life. I put everything on hold and got a lot of catch up work to do.
You say you're selling your house. Are you moving to Florida full time?
No, I'm selling a property next to my house. I have a couple properties here in Santa Cruz. So
selling one, I'm probably have to get another place. I'll be out in Florida here and there, back and forth.
So considering how it went 2 Saturdays ago, is it fair to say that you'll be doing all your camps in Florida now?
No.
I mean, it's about playing it by ear and seeing what the circumstances here are in town. I'm going to go over the hill here in a minute and go into AK and get some training and see what I can. So I'm going to go see who's there and what the the timeline is for. I mean, DC. Who knows what he's doing? Is he fighting soon? Kane's still injured, and I just got to see what the environment looks like in the gym. Really, it's about it's an iron sharpens iron world, like we always say. And,
yeah.
You got to have the right tools in the gym.
Any blowback from those guys? I mean, this was your first time not doing a camp there in a very long time. Maybe the first time in your career. Was there any blowback? Was it awkward at all?
Did you see Javier
was in my corner? Bob Cook was in my corner, and Daniel Cormier said he loved me on national TV. So I think our relationships are very well intact.
All right. Wasn't he supposed to be there? Wasn't he supposed to come out for the fight?
Yeah, he's got a lot of obligations these days, obviously, with all his commitments within your world. So, like I said, he's not always in the gym. He's got a lot of podcasts and TV shows and things, and some things came up, and it wasn't right. He couldn't make it. So,
would you be interested in Romero?
I would be interested in Whittaker.
I want the title.
Okay.
I mean, everything is gauged to get to the title, to get the money.
Yeah.
I want money fights, and of course, that's what I'm here for. I'm 33. I'm 33 next month. I'm not getting any younger. I want to set myself up, and I'm not fighting for this little change. I'm going for the real money, and that's what I want. Everything is structured to be there, and I'm not gonna. Like I said before, I want a path. I want a direction, and with both titles being held hostage, there's no point in fighting anybody until they straighten things out.
The UFC,
unless they put up the title.
Right. It's so wacky these days that I can even see a scenario in which Bisping fights GSP in November and you fight Whittaker in December. Like there really is no rhyme or reason to anything sometimes.
Exactly, and that's why
let things air out, iron themselves out, and we'll see.
Do you feel like you're in a good place with the UFC these days after everything that went on over the past year?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm just fine.
That's not very convincing.
I don't think we have any problems.
Okay. You're in a good spot. Good enough spot.
We're good. We're good enough. We're good enough. We're gonna see what's to come. Like I said, I'm not ruling out light heavyweight either. We'll see what direction I go in, depending on
what direction DC goes into.
Yeah. Do you think if DC wasn't around at light heavyweight that you would actually go up there at this point just because it's so wide open? You're such a big middleweight. I mean, is he the only thing stopping you at this juncture?
Obviously, I'd like to finish my business here at middleweight, but I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I'm a lot more explosive. The weight cut is definitely affecting me. In there, it takes time to kind of shake off that nerve and get the feel back. So I feel good. At light heavyweight, I feel great. I do just fine.
Yeah, how bad was that weight cut?
Never easy. Like I said,
It's never easy.
Was this one of the worst?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say it was one of the worst, but
like I said, it doesn't get any easier. As you get older, your bones get thicker.
Yeah.
And it's harder to cut the weight off.
So you think at some point you will be moving up?
Yeah, at some point I definitely will be.
Okay. All right. For now, you're still at middleweight, right? The next fight would be a middleweight, I would imagine. You're not fighting DC for the belt. That'd be wild.
Imagine.
Could you imagine that? You versus DC for the light heavyweight title? Our minds would explode. Not happening. How about your Warriors drawing the ire of President Trump?
I wasn't aware.
I didn't catch up on that one, actually. What happened?
You're not aware of this? Where have you been?
No, I've been on a bit of a whirlwind the last week. I've been pretty consumed.
Well, Stephen Curry said on Friday that he's not really interested in going to the White House. And then on Saturday, President Donald Trump said, guess what? You're not invited to the White House. We're taking back the invitation. And this caused a massive firestorm where LeBron James called the president a bum on Twitter. Now all the NBA players are sticking up for the Warriors. And of course, the NFL players are kneeling down because he called them sons of bitches and said that the owners should kick them out if they kneel down. As a player on your favorite team, the 49ers, last year, Colin Kaepernick started the trend protesting police brutality and racial inequality. And so it's turned into this whole thing. But the Warriors, he specifically referenced Stephen Curry in a tweet.
I've seen that. I didn't understand the stimming from the Warriors.
Yeah. The Warriors sticking up. Steve Kerr, Draymond Green, sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
How about that?
Wow. Good for them.
Good for
them. Things are pretty chaotic these days.
I'm not a big fan of where we're going.
Yeah. Well said. Luke, I appreciate it. Welcome back. Congratulations. And I hope it all works out. I hope you get what you want later on this year.
Something will happen, I'm sure.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Luke Rockhold stopping by. Thank you very much to him. All the best. Still, in my opinion, one of the very best middleweights in the world. You can make a strong case that if he fought for a title sometime in the near future, that he would regain the title. I think back to Luke Rockhold fighting Lyoto Machida. I think back to Rockhold fighting Chris Weidman. That Luke Rockhold, the Rockhold who fought Michael Bisping in Australia. Remember saying to myself, like, that guy, if healthy, and injuries have played a role in the past, especially more earlier on in the Strikeforce days. If healthy, that guy, there's no stopping him. He is without a doubt the best middleweight in the world.